everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I am playing Arkham Horror the card game. I'm going through the Dunwich Legacy. I'm using Rex Murphy the Reporter and Roland Banks the Fed. This is the second scenario, I believe. Yeah, it's called Miskatonic Museum. Let me catch you up on some things. Between the last episode and this one, there was an interlude called Armitage's Fate. And because of the way I'd played the earlier two scenarios, it told me to go to page 42, which I did. And it says, when you arrive Dr. Armitage's home in Southside, you find him sitting at his desk, pale-faced and sweating with worry. He is grateful to you for searching for his colleagues, but he doesn't look relieved. With a long pause, he straightens his glasses and explains, I'm afraid I must apologize. There's something I didn't mention to you earlier. Dr. Armitage then spins a tale that you would scarcely believe had it not been for your harrowing experiences earlier that night. Alright, so it tells me I can add the Dr. Armitage card to either of my investigators' decks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that to Roland. So I've got it right here, and it is an ally card. He's got 2 wild resources, and he's got 2 health and 2 sanity. So, and I also upgraded Roland's with the 4 XP. I upgraded Guard Dog to level 2 and Beat Cop to level 2. I got a bonus 2 XP at the end of Armitage's thing. It said that you get a couple more. I think that's what it was. Yeah. Okay, anyway. So, I'm going to be doing Miskatonic Museum. So, let me read you this. This is Armitage telling me this story. Several months ago, Armitage and his colleagues stopped a rampaging horror from tearing through Dunwich, a backwater town several hours north and west of Arkham. At first, you imagine this beast as a rabid bear, or worse, but the professor's description of the creature paints a different picture. It all began when a man named Wilbur Whatley entered the Orne Library looking for Olaus Wormius's Latin translation of a book called the Necronomicon. Wilbur already possessed a beaten-up English translation by Dr. John Dee, but it was insufficient for his purposes. Armitage turned the man away, fearing what use the strange man had for the book. Whatley returned in secret, hoping to steal the book, but was attacked by a hound guarding the university. Armitage, Rice, and Morgan later discovered Whatley's body, a description of the foul corpse, semi-anthropomorphic and covered in fur, with a leathery hide and greenish-gray tentacles, causes you to question whether or not Whatley was truly human. The notes written by Dr. Armitage in the journal stress Whatley's desire to get his hands on the Necronomicon for some terrible purpose. As you read on, it seems that Dr. Armitage brought the university's copy of the tome to Harold Walstead, the curator of the Miskatonic Museum, for safekeeping in the museum's restricted hall. Although you were worried about your mentor, you were equally worried that Armitage's kidnappers might get their hands on this. I'm reading the wrong one. Anyway, it's basically the same story. I was supposed to be reading this one. It says, Armitage turned the man away, blah, 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 blah. Okay, my colleagues and I were quick to put the ordeal behind us, Armitage says, but it seems that things haven't fully resolved themselves. I'll tell you the rest later, but for now it is imperative that we get our hands on that copy of the Necronomicon. If my instincts are correct, the assailants you've encountered will be searching for it. After all that transpired, I didn't feel safe keeping it at the library, so I gave it to my good friend Harold Walstead. He is the curator of the Miskatonic Museum. I thought it would be safe in the museum's restricted hall, but now I'm not so sure. Please go retrieve it at all costs. I fear terribly what they could do with the rights contained within its pages. Now, I'm supposed to go to page 48 where I set it up. And basically, it's going to be these 4 locations. I've already created the encounter deck and a special deck called the exhibit hall deck, which I will be pulling from, I guess, later on. It will tell me when to do that. Let me move these over so you can see them. This deck was specifically created a certain way. There's a special card that's in one of the bottom 3 spaces. I don't know which one because of the way it was shuffled. And then these are the locations that I start at. It says the investigators will start at the museum entrance. Okay, so let me pull this down just a little bit. The museum entrance is right here. it leads to red, which is the museum halls. And the museum halls of the security office is also connected to the red, as is the administration office. Okay, there we go. And my guys begin right here at the museum entrance, which we'll get there in a moment. All right. Let's see. Shuffle the remainder. Some cards in this scenario reference an area called the Void. The Void is an out-of-play area next to the act and agenda, which the hunting horror enemy can enter and leave via card effects. While the hunting horror is in the Void, it is considered out of play and cannot be affected by player cards or investigator actions. All right, so just an update. I did upgrade also this deck. I got In the Know and Seeking Answers. I upgraded both of them and pulled out the requisite number of cards so that my deck is staying at the right size. I need to go ahead and shuffle both of these and draw my cards. But before I do, let me read you the agenda and the act. Now, the agenda requires 5 Doom tokens to advance, and I don't want this advancing. It says, Dr. Armitage has given the university's Latin translation of the Necronomicon to his associate Harold Walstead, the curator of the Miskatonic University Museum. Worried that someone might still be after the book, you have gone to the museum to recover it. Forced. When the hunting horror enters play, attach the set-aside copy of Shadow Spawned to it, or add 1 resource to Shadowed Spawned if it is already attached. It's not attached yet. I suspect that that 1 resource means it's going to get more powerful. Now the act, which is what I want to advance, it requires 2 clues to advance the first one. Finding a way inside. Unfortunately, the entrance to the museum is kept locked at this late hour. A security guard is visible through the building's front windows, oblivious to his surroundings. Perhaps you can find a way to get his attention and convince him to let you in. All right. So there's that. And so it's locked. And I've got the administration office here for some reason. So right now I'll reveal the museum entrance. There are 2 clues here. All right. 2 clues. And it says, investigators at the museum entrance cannot gain resources. Resign. How important can a book be anyway? Well, I probably do want to get it. Now this says, the entrance to the museum is locked. You cannot move into the hall. Museum entrance. Gain. Test 5 strength to break down the door. If you are successful, advance to Act 1B. I don't know if I want to break down the door or not. The administration office, I can't reveal it because I'm not there, and neither can I with the security office. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a really quick break. I'll do this while you're listening. I've got a pretty good deck that I'm pretty happy with for Rex. I've upgraded a few of his cards. He does have a couple weapon cards. Rex is really weak when it comes to fighting. And I don't know if he's going to be called to fight in this scenario. But if he is, I sure would like to have a weapon in his hand. Now, Roland's a fighter without a weapon. But he's got some really good resources. He's got the guard dog. He's got the beat cop. And he's got some weapons that he can hopefully get out that will add to his fight ability. But he's not the best he can investigate, but he's not going to do as well as Rex. So let's go ahead and draw his cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, I get a mulligan if I draw a weakness. Good card, good card, good card, good card. Ah, a weapon. Hey, I will keep those. Not bad. And then now Roland has a couple cards that I think have to stay out. They're like permanent. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Nope. Sorry, just double checking. Roland Banks deck only. Weakness. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong. All right, let me shuffle it up, and I'll draw his cards. And as I said, Roland is sort of my defender of Rex. Rex is the guy who I want investigating. He's very good at it. But we will see what happens here. If you're not familiar with this storyline, by the way, what Dr. Armitage's story is the story that is told in H.P. Lovecraft's tale. It's called the Dunwich Horror. If you haven't read it, it's a great story. It tells the tale of Whatley. It tells the tale of his mom and his grandfather, and it's a crazy, crazy story, and it is pure Lovecraft, pure Cthulhu, Cthulhu style. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what we got. Armitage, good. An ally. Courage, good. Magnifying glass, safeguard. Oh, and he got his Elder Amulet out. Okay. Elder Amulet. Not bad. Not bad. These might be useful. I didn't get a weapon. I could give up magnifying glass. I'm going to give that up and draw and see if I get a... I don't. I got an insight card. I'll keep that, and we'll shuffle this back in, and we will get started. All right, as I said, they begin at the museum entrance. There are 2 clues there. It does take 2 clues to find a way inside to advance that. So let's see what we got here. First turn. Oh, they all get 5 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, Roland begins with 4 sanity instead of 5 because he took a mental trauma that stays with him throughout the game. He's at full health 9 with 3 actions. Murphy begins at 6 health and full sanity 9. All right, let's see. Who do I want to go first? Let's have Rex go first. The weapon would be great, but the problem is I need 2 clues. This is a race against time. I can always spend the 4 to get the weapon out, but let's go ahead and investigate and try to get these 2 clues. I am going to go ahead and do, my first action will be to investigate, and I need a 3, and my investigate is a 4. I will... Well, I was kind of hoping... After you succeed by a skill test by 2 or more, discover a clue at your location. If I did, he's got a fast action that says after you succeeded a skill test, and a skill test could be an investigate. I can discover another clue, so that could get me the second clue. Let's boost him up a little bit. Let's go ahead and for 1 action, I will play magnifying glass, and it costs 1, and it comes with, and it says you get +1 while investigating. So right now I'm at 5 versus 3. And I'm also going to contribute... No, I'm not going to contribute that. Now, Roland can contribute at least 1 card, and he's got some great cards here. I want those clues, so I'm going to do... I'm not going to help him. No, just going to try it. All right, I need to win by 2 or more. So 5 to 3. And I got this shrouded figure, which is -1. So I have 4. I did defeat it by 2. So I get both clues. For his first, that was, let's see, first action. Second action was he did an investigate. So I'll spend the 2 clues to go ahead and forward this. If the investigator spent clues to advance, you find the window nearest to the guard and tap it loud enough to get his attention. He gives a startled jump, then shifts up to open the window. What do you want? He asks timidly. That wasn't timid. You explain the situation to him and tell him that he is in grave danger. He warily opens the front door to the museum, shaking his head. I wasn't even supposed to be here today. Choose an investigator to take control of the set-aside Adam Lynch asset. That must be one of the cards I had to set aside. Oh, there he is. Adam Lynch. Okay. To take control. I will give that to Rex. Reveal the museum halls. Reveal. Okay, that's this. Reveal it. Advance to Act 2A. Okay, so this goes away, and I'm at 2A. 2A says... Act 2A. Wait, hold on. There's a bunch of 2As. Night at the museum. Okay, here's a 2A, so this one will go away. So it's this one that we want. Night at the museum. The Necronomicon is being kept in a restricted hall somewhere in the museum. Adam barely knows his way around and gives a startled jump at every creak of the old building. I just started here last week, he explains. What sort of trouble did you say was going on? You haven't the heart to give him the full story. Objective. If an investigator enters the exhibit hall, the restricted version, advance. So I've got to find the restricted one. So, and I think I move here automatically. Museum hall is connected. Investigators, okay, so we're here now. This goes away because it can no longer, well, no, I guess it can still be getting there. It has 0 clues to shroud. It is connected to each copy of exhibit hall. As an action, investigators in the museum halls spend one clue as a group. Put the top card of the exhibit deck into play unrevealed. Okay, so these come back down. I'll move these down. This is here, where they are. And I'm supposed to, each is connected. Okay, investigators spend to put the top card into play unrevealed. So basically, there's this deck of exhibit cards here. When I spend a clue, investigators in the hall must spend a clue as a group. Put the top card of the exhibit deck into play unrevealed. Well, hold on. How do I get security audit? I don't have any more clues to spin, so how was I supposed to do that? Oh, I guess I was supposed to investigate here and here. But I didn't do that. I didn't have to do that because I went ahead and got the 2 clues. This is weird. So I don't have enough clues. So I am, but Roland never moved. Okay, so Roland's going to have to get the clues to do this. So he moved, he investigated, he got the clues. He's got one more action. I will move him here. Okay, and then he is done. Okay, got it. Now Roland will move to the security office. There are 4 clues here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's a shroud of 3. And it says, it takes 2 actions. Look at the revealed side of an exhibit hall in play or the top card of the exhibit. Oh, that's a nice one. Okay, hold on. So I need to get a clue and spend it to put one of these up here. It's like I guess I'm checking records or something and I know where, it's like I'm researching where to go. Okay, look at the revealed side of an exhibit hall in play. Or the top card of the exhibit hall. Limit once per turn. Okay, that is cool. All right, so he moved for 1 action. I will have him investigate, but he's not going to investigate 3 versus 3. Instead, unexpected courage would get him up 5 to 3. Let's do that. I'll spin a card. He's at 5 to 3. Let's hope. I got a 0, so he does get a clue. I will spin this clue. Oh, but you have to be in the museum hall. Never mind. Look at the revealed side of an exhibit hall in play. I need to switch them. So he moved. He researched, and then I'm going to have him move back. This is not good. I didn't think this through. They need to be in opposite positions. Like Rex is going to do the investigate and send him to look. All right, I think I got this. Hopefully. All right, let's see. That is the end of the turn. Enemy phase. There are no enemies. We have got. Let's see how much. 2 minutes. There are. Okay, it's the upkeep phase. So these flip over. Everybody gets a resource and draws a card. Roland draws Dodge. Good card to have. Rex draws Unexpected Courage. Another good card to have. Now, it's Mythos phase. I put a Doom token, 1 out of 5, and then they draw cards. Rex went first, so he draws Pushed into the Beyond. It's a Hex. Revelation. Choose and shuffle a non-story asset you control into your deck and discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If a copy of that asset is discarded, take 2 horrors. I do have the magnifying glass. So choose and shuffle a non-story asset. That's what this is. Shuffle it into your deck. Discard the top 3 cards. If a copy of that asset is discarded, take 2 horrors. Wow, that's a weird one. All right, so I got to shuffle it and draw 3 and then hope I don't get the magnifying glass again. All right, so let's shuffle it a little bit. And I think I've got 2 copies of magnifying. No, I don't. I've just got 1. All right, let's see. Top 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. I did not just, and it says discard them. Okay, so they're discarded, unfortunately, but I did not draw the magnifying glass, so this goes away. And then Roland draws. Same thing. Pushed into the. I do not have an asset that I am playing right now. So I don't have to do this. Choose and shuffle a non-story asset. Okay, so I don't do it. If I had played an asset, I would have played the Elder Amulet, and I would have had to get rid of that. I'm glad I didn't play that yet. Okay, it is now my turn. Rex needs to go 1 move, 2 moves. So he's taken 2 actions. And he will do an investigate. Let's see. He's at 4 versus 3. I'll play unexpected to make it 6 versus 3. The only way I can fail is the auto fail or the heart taken. 6 versus 3. 6 minus 1 is 5. I am successful. I beat it by 3, so I get a second clue. Now he's got 2 clues, and that is the end of his turn. Now it's Roland's turn. Roland will move for 1 action. He will spend a clue. Spend a clue as a group. Oh, that means, okay. Investigators in the hall spend 1 clue as a group. Now he's got 1. I don't have to have all my investigators there, but thankfully he does have a clue. I will take the top card, and it says put it into play. But you unrevealed, so it stays down. Okay, that's fine. I'll put it right there. That was his. He moved. And then he took an action to investigate. So he's got, and his third action, let's go ahead and get something out here. I'm going to get the Elder Sign Amulet out because his mental state is very, very iffy. I will put that on. I will spend, it costs 2. And it gives me a bonus 4 mental. So he is done. All right, so Rex finished and Roland finished, and that is the end of the turn. No enemy phase, or no enemies out. Flip these over. They each get a resource and a card. Roland draws Hyper Awareness. Rex draws Working a Hunch. Not a bad card to have. All right, a Doom token. And then who went first? It was Rex. So Rex draws Crypt Chill. Test for Will. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. If you can't, take 2 damage instead. Ooh, all right. So I don't want to discard Adam Lynch. Let's see. Will. That would be this one right here, but I hate to get rid of that. Rex's will is 3, and this would make it an even 4. But you know what? I'm going to, as if it were oh, by the way, the reason this took 1 action instead of 2, I've got Adam. You know what? I don't want to lose Adam Lynch. Oh, man, I need to. That's a 4v4, and it's a great one to have, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to discard it for 4v4. It gives me a will. Four minus 1 is 3, and I do fail it, and so I have to give up a. It says if you fail, choose and discard an asset. If you can't, take 2 damage. I can discard an asset, which stinks, because now it's going to take me 2 actions to reveal an exhibit hall versus 1. Okay, well is what it is, and now Roland draws Passage into the Veil. Test 3 will. This test has a +2 difficulty if hunting horror is at your location. It's not. If you fail, you must either choose one, discard top 5 cards of your deck, or take 1 direct damage and deal 1 damage to each of your allies. Well, I don't have any allies out, so maybe I want to do that second one. But let's test the will. My will is 3, and I could contribute Safeguard. I could do, well, yeah. I'm just going to do 3 versus 3. 3 versus... Oh, it's 3. Yeah, 3 versus 3 and hope for the best. The skull. The skull is -1. I failed. -3 if the hunting horror is there. So I have to take a... You must either discard the top 5 cards or take 1 direct damage and deal 1 to your allies. I'll take the 1 direct. That's fine. And that is it. Okay, start of the turn. There's 1 clue left. Rex I will play Working a Hunch. Fast. Play only during your turn. It costs 2, but it gets me a clue. Now he's got all the clues off of there. And that was a fast, so it doesn't count as an action. So, look at the revealed side of an exhibit. It would take 2 actions to look at this one. And that will help me decide whether I want to even go in there. But he's got all the clues. Oh, look at the revealed side. You can always enter it. But, look at the revealed side. I'm not going to do that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, for my first action, I'm going to move 1. I'm going to move 2. And then I'm going to, I've got one more action. I can spend a clue to reveal, or to pull out one more of the exhibit hall. So now there's 2 out. And that is his turn. Roland. Now, as a group, I can spend. So Roland will spend another clue to reveal this one, or to pull this one. And that's an action. And then he'll spend another action to use this last clue to reveal the 4th one. Now, here's what I know. There should be 2 cards left. There are. The restricted hall was in one. It was one of the bottom 3 cards. I don't know which one, because these 3 were shuffled and then shuffled, or put beneath these 3 shuffled. So it could be that one, or it could be those 2. But to reveal these, I have to go get 2 more clues, which means I'm going to have to go to the administration office, because there's no more clues here. But there could be clues in some of these. So for his 3rd and final action, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to enter here, and it's called Hall of the Dead. There are 4 clues there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is all he can do. Now it says forced. When you fail a skill test while investigating here, take a horror. All right. I don't like that. I'll probably send Rex over there, but he is done. That is the end of the turn. There are no enemies. Update, upgrade, what do you call it? Refresh. They each get a clue, a resource, and a card. Roland draws his weakness, cover up. Put it into play with 3 clues on it. 1, 2, 3. When you would discover a clue at your location, discard that many from cover up. When the game ends, if there are any clues on there, you suffer 1 mental trauma. I've got to clear this, or he ends up with more mental trauma. Okay, and then Rex draws his weakness. Wow, what a revelation. Put Rex's curse into play. When you would succeed at a skill test, return the revealed chaos token to the bag and reveal another one. If this effect causes you to fail the test, shuffle Rex's curse back into your deck. When you would succeed at a skill. So if you succeed, you have to return it and draw another one. And once you fail, you get rid of this. Man. All right. Well, I try to keep these videos under 30 minutes, so I'm going to stop here and I'll pick up in the next video. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on this game of Arkham Horror, the card game. I'll be back in a week, and until then, everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.